Bobby Paradise.
Oh, my gosh. Hi, Meredith Scott Lynn.
You're so cute. What's up, Paradise? Oh, man.
Oh, geez, Louise. How you doing, Meredith?
Oh, geez, Louise. I'm good, Bobby. I'm busy and inspired and excited and tired, but not. I'm more, as long as I stay more inspired than I am tired, I think we're good.
That's a great motto. More inspired.
I just made that up.
Than tired.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
I'm doing it. More inspired than tired.
You know what? That's like a tweetable moment. You better tweet that.
Oh my God, I better tweet that. If you steal it, Bobby, we're not friends anymore.
About your educational publishing company you created, WriteBrain Book.
We have curricula for all grade levels, primary through high school. So it's basically like a college-level children's book authoring course, repurposed and offered for all grade levels below the college level. So what it is, in schools, it is a very in-depth narrative and creative writing program. Okay. And then our retail product that we're launching with our published authors kit, that is basically what kids do for 4 weeks in school, is sort of wrapped up in this author's kit for anyone to do, parents, kids, at home. So it's the full WriteBrain children's book authoring program offered up in a really cool and inspiring and engaging retail product that's like a toy. I mean, we've won a lot of toy awards and the Smart Choice Media Award. You know, it's a really to ask a young person, whether they're 7 or 17, to step up into the responsibility of authoring a story for a child younger than they are is a big deal. Deidre Hall said, and this is a beautiful quote, Deidre Hall, when she wrote her book, said, WriteBrain brings out the children in grown-ups and the grown-up in children.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Which is pretty great. I mean, it's not as good as long as I'm more inspired than I am tired, but it's good.
It's really, that is some good
I'm just
brain
kidding.
gold.
Yeah, that's brain gold. That is awesome. And then Deidre, she had a lot of books to choose from. I just asked her if she would choose one of our books and write a children's book. And she said, of course. And she chose from about 20 books. She chose one. And she said that writing this children's book, which she dedicated to her sons, she said it cut her open, that it was a very intense process for her. And do you have the book?
I had the chance to read it about an hour
Isn't it
ago.
awesome? Isn't it awesome?
Rebecca sent me the PDF, and I wasn't expecting it to be so.
Me neither.
So moving, and
I know, it's really sweet.
It's really like such a grown-up, mature message wrapped in the children's book, but
so is Dr. Seuss. Like, those are the best children's books.
Right.
I mean, she wrote a beautiful story.
Yeah, about just like the loss, and you have to let things go to grow to how you're supposed to be. It was really really moving, and I wasn't expecting to be moved at 4 p.m. in my apartment eating macaroni and cheese.
Yeah. But the thing to know is that Deidre Hall wrote an incredible children's book that anyone who reads it will be touched and moved and inspired to write a children's book. And it's not a simple or easy thing because you learn about yourself. We have 4th graders who tell us that they learn things about themselves that they didn't know, or their best friends. And then, that's it. So the last thing to know is that Jeff Kinney, the Diary of a Wimpy Kid author, he wrote the whole series of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He supports WriteBrain Gives, and he included a note to all new WriteBrain authors, and it is in all of our authors kits. And then in the new year, it will be in every student's hand who does this program in a classroom.
I love that. And people can buy Deidre's book, The Little Big Bear, at WriteBrain book style. So basically, anybody, so a parent or an aunt or an uncle or a child, they could buy the kit and create.
Buy the kit, author a children's book, and there are lots of activities within the kit that, lots of things that are in the kit. And then, yes, so they can author a children's book. It's their own, it's an original story, and then they go on our website and upload their story into the interactive digital book builder. They put in the code that comes in the kit, and we publish their book. So they get a real, perfect bound, finished, published book like you would buy in a store.
Right. That's beautiful. That's really
It's kids writing kids' books, and it's parents writing here's the thing. Everybody would love to write a children's book if they could. Is that when WriteBrain happened, and if you look at the website and you go to our founder, which is under our people, you'll read the full story of how this happened, because it's a cool story. The cool thing is that I left my agent and I quit. I was going to quit. I was going to stop auditioning and looking for work as an actress so that I can do WriteBrain full time, because I felt I had something that could work if I gave it 100%. And at that point I had nothing. So I quit, if you will, and I did a play written by Elizabeth Sarnoff, who's a big TV writer. She wrote most recently Salem, Alcatraz. She wrote on Lost Forever. She's a big Hollywood writer. She wrote a play, and I thought, I'm going to do this play as a send-off, and I'm going to be full-time WriteBrain. And then the casting director, Marnie, you know Marnie Sparrow, so Marnie from Days came to see the play and offered me a 3-episode arc on Days, and then it's turned into 3 years, and in all honesty, I don't know. This is one of those God is good moments, because I don't know how I would have been able to live and pay rent and eat food while I grew this company. I'm still growing it, but while I got it started with nothing, Days, it kind of saved my life. It made it possible because Days paid my bills.
That's amazing. And
not only did it pay my bills, it's the most rewarding, awesome. Soaps don't get a lot of respect and love in the industry of Hollywood. And the industry doesn't know. We know because we're out there. They don't know how many people count on the characters, giving them a little respite from their difficult lives. Like, they don't know how many people love these shows for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, right?
Yeah.
So because it's soaps, because everything is written and offered up in a somewhat heightened reality, and because soaps can go much deeper into certain issues than one would expect in daytime, for an actor, it's a party. Like, it's a really rich, fun, exciting job, period. Like, I would say, and I've worked a lot, that it's the most fun I've had maybe ever doing anything. Like, I hope I have my job. I hope Days is on. I hope I am a wrinkly, old prune of a hag when we shoot that last episode, and I hope I'm in it.
Oh, man, me too, because where else would Anne be?
Right, nowhere, because Meredith can't get a job. Meredith can't get arrested. I'm just kidding.
Meredith, I'm sure you could get arrested.
You know what's so great, though? Like, WriteBrain is so rewarding. Like, watching, Rebecca, I have to tell you guys, we were just in Indiana, and these 3 very, very poor teenage girls from an after-school program in Indiana came to this conference to read the books that they wrote that we published. And, they told the crowd, I didn't know I could be good with words. I've never written anything. I've never written a book. and then I told him, if you want to write another book, pick one. And they each took like 10 or 20 books.
Wow.
That will always, that is much more important to me right now. And Days is such a fulfilling, it's such a creatively and spiritually fulfilling gig that I don't need to do any more acting, which is pretty awesome to have that feeling after spending 25 years looking and, waiting hopefully for acting jobs.
Right. You hit the jackpot.
But having found my own voice at an early age, because I was a storyteller as a child, entering storytelling contests, having been an actress, and my work was met with a positive response because it was usually comedic, I grew to have a real understanding that my voice has value, and I grew to have a normal, healthy amount of self-esteem, and the purpose of WriteBrain is to help other young people find their voice and grow their self-esteem, period. That is the purpose of WriteBrain. That is my mission in life. And so now, rather than trying to elevate the self-esteem of every person I date, I'm trying to elevate the self-esteem of every student who buys our program and every kid or parent at home who buys our kit.
Ooh, there's a best. Yeah, there's the better way to go.
Right?
That's down.
Rebecca, that's funny.
Does anyone pop into your head, like in your youth or growing up, that did encourage you to find your voice and be on that kind of right path of self-esteem? Is there like an incident?
You know what? I'll tell you, my parents.
Yeah.
My parents. I was one of those very lucky young people. It's sort of funny. My parents had enough of their own mishigas, as my people would say, or as Anne might say. They had enough of their own stuff going on, like a lot of parents did in the 70s and 80s. They had so much going on that they knew enough to let me discover myself and learn to make my own decisions. They were not the kind of hands-on, strict parents who raised me with a lot of rules. Yeah. And in not raising me with a lot of rules, I was a very well-behaved kid. And when I wanted to act in plays, I had good enough grades that I was allowed to do anything creative that I wanted to do. So my mother made sure I could be in the plays. When I wanted to act, my mother helped me get out to Los Angeles for my first visit. She let me move out here. I was 18. I moved out here by myself to try and make it. My mother has always been an incredible support, as was my father. He's passed. But so I had parents who always said, yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And I had a couple teachers. Of teachers who really fortified my self-esteem by affirming for me that I was kind of, one of their more favorite awesome students. Because I was very participatory. I was the hand raisey. If they asked a question, I was the one who, I have an answer for everything, much like Anne. And much like Anne.
What kind of children's book do you think Anne would write?
Oh, my God. I think I would not want to read that children's book. In fact, I think, you just inspired me, I think I have to write the children's book that Anne Millbauer would write.
Yeah.
Anne Millbauer, in writing a children's book, might discover that she is, has more of a warm soul than she realizes, the funny children's book that Anne would write is something I think I need to do immediately. So thank you for the inspiration.
Yeah, no
that probably
problem.
Has to happen.